To understand non-performing asset, guys, let me show you one question which is related to non-performing assets, and let's see if you can answer this question. So what's the question? Question says, which of the following is or are called as stressed assets? NPA, non-performing assets, restructured loans, written off assets, and this is called as SMA0. All right. Now, if you don't understand what is SMA0, written off assets, restructured loans, and NPA, you cannot answer this question. To be able to answer these questions of this type, you must first understand what is stressed asset. You must know the definition of NPA, restructure, written off, SMA, all of these things. Only then you can answer these questions. So what's the correct answer? Do you want to try? Okay, you'll get to know it very soon. Before I tell you about NPA, see, I have given you all the written definitions here, all right, but I would like to give you a flowchart and a proper way to understand what is NPA, what are stressed assets and all, so that you can answer all the questions properly. So let me give you that flowchart. So guys, you know that when bank gives loan to somebody, that loan is called as asset of a bank. All right. Why? Because suppose you take a loan from the bank, what will you do? Will you return the loan of the bank? Yes. Will you also give rate of interest to the bank? Yes. All right. Hence that is an asset. So the asset of a bank can be classified into two types. One is good asset, and the second is stressed asset. All right. This is the proper way to understand what is NPA. Now, what is a good asset? So for example, suppose bank has given loan. Bank has given 100 crore loan to somebody. Now, this is the person who has taken this loan. So this person gives principal as well as interest. What is the principal? 100 CR. And what is the interest rate? Let's say interest rate is 5%. So this person pays both principal and interest to the bank. Hence, this asset is called as good asset. What is stressed asset? Stressed asset would mean that something which is creating problem for a bank. So what are the different types of stressed assets? The first is NPA. That is the first type of stressed asset. What is the second? Restructured loan. This is the second type of stressed asset. And third is written off loans. So guys, stressed assets are of three types. Now, NPA again is classified into two ways. First is for farm loans, and second is based on duration. I'll explain all these things, don't worry. Now take for example farm loans. So there are two types of crop. So first is short duration crop, second is long duration crop. For short duration crop, there are two crop cycles. For this, one crop cycle. Based on duration, first is substandard, second is doubtful, and third is loss assets. All right. Okay, so now that I have given you this structure, let me explain all these points. So guys, let's start with this very simple analysis. That suppose I take a loan from a bank. Now that, and suppose you are the bank and I am the borrower. I am taking 100 crore rupees from you. Now this 100 crore becomes my principal. Principal is equal to 100 CR. You are the bank. You are charging interest from me 10%. Now if I return your principal and interest, then that loan that you have given me, loan of 100 crore, this is a good asset. But suppose that I don't return your principal and I don't return your interest for 90 days. For 90 days, I don't return that to you. What does this loan become then? This loan will become NPA. All right, non-performing assets. If I don't return your principal or interest for 90 days, that becomes your NPA. Now, non-performing assets are divided using two different types, two different principles. The first is farm loans. So suppose if you have taken money for farming or agricultural purposes. Now, there are some crops like jowar, bajra, paddy. So these are short duration crops. They take less time to fructify. For those crops, if you don't return the principal or interest for 2 crop cycles, then that loan is called as NPA. For long duration crops, which take more time, all right, for harvest, if you don't return the principal and interest for 1 cropping season, it is called as NPA. So this is for farm loans. Now NPA is also categorized based on duration. All right. Now, if your loan becomes NPA for 12 months, it is called as substandard asset. If your NPA, if your loan becomes NPA and this NPA remains NPA for 12 months, it is called substandard asset. If an asset remains substandard for 12 months, it is called doubtful asset, which means for 12 months it remains substandard, it is called as doubtful assets. And what are loss assets? Loss assets are those assets which the bank feel is unrecoverable, which means that to recover a loan of 1 rupee, if the bank has to invest 99 paisa or 2 rupees, there is no point of recovering such a loan. Or to recover such a loan becomes impractical. In that case, banks call it as loss assets. These are the 2 types of NPA. So NPA is the first type of stressed asset. What is restructured loan? So guys, I gave you an example whereby you became a bank and I am the borrower. So I borrowed 100 crore from you at 10%. And suppose I borrow this money for 25 years, but I'm not able to pay back your loan. Why? Pandemic has happened, COVID-19 has happened, and these kind of situations have risen whereby I'm not able to pay back the loan. And I'm telling you that my business is gone. I can never return your loan. You are a bank. What will you do? Will you simply say, no problem, please don't return my money and stay happy? No. You will come to me and you will say that, okay, maybe there is a bad situation, you can't pay 10% interest, it's all right. What you do is pay only 6% interest. So what are you doing? Are you giving me some interest subsidy? Yes. Or you can tell me that, okay, if you are having a problem because of COVID, don't repay back the loan in 25 years, take 35 years now. You are giving me 10 years extra. These are some of the things which you do so as to recover your loan. This is called restructuring of the loan, where you change interest, where you change the time duration, where you change the nature of the loan, but you don't completely write off the loan. This is restructuring. All right. What is written off assets? In written off assets, bank completely forgo that from their books, and bank assume that that particular loan has become so bad that there is no point recovering that, or it is impossible to recover. Now, when the bank writes off some loan, so for example, this loan, suppose I go abroad, I sell off my factories, I run away from India, and I'm not coming back, or I have vanished. So this is almost certain for the bank that bank won't be able to recover that. So banks write it off, remove it from their books. That doesn't mean that the bank forgets the loan. Bank removes it from its papers and books, but bank doesn't forget it. Bank remembers that, oh, there was somebody who had taken money, he has not returned. But officially, it's gone. This is write-off. These 3 kinds of loans taken together are called as stressed assets. All right. Now let's see if you can answer this question. So what was the question? So guys, having understood the concept of stressed assets, now can you answer this question? Which of the following is or are called as stressed assets. NPA, yes. Restructured loan, yes. Written off loan, yes. What about this? No. This is not called as stressed assets. Real answer is this. I'll teach you SMA 0 and SMA 1, SMA 2. But for now, these three are called stressed assets. Guys, these are the kind of questions that you can expect in UPSC. All right. So these are the notes I have given you so that you can revise these concepts when you are about to appear in your exam. So see, NPA, what is the general definition? Loan for which principal or interest payment remained overdue for 90 days. Agriculture or farm loans, see, for these kind of crops which are short duration, if the principal or interest remains overdue for 2 crop seasons, and for long duration crops, principal or interest remains overdue for 1 crop season. All right. Then classification based upon period of NPA. First is substandard assets, assets which is NPA for less than or equal to 12 months. Then doubt assets, assets which are substandard category for 12 months. Loss assets, assets which are considered to be uncollectible and of little value. All right. Okay. Now next concept is called as provisioning. You remember in my first lecture I had taught you provisioning. So try to recall what is provisioning. Okay, let me tell you what is provisioning. So guys, in the context of non-performing assets, provisioning means the following. Suppose that this is a bank. Now bank has given loan to this person. This person has taken 100 crore loan from the bank. This guy has not returned the money. Now he has not returned the money for 90 days. What will happen to this loan? This loan will become NPA, right? If he does not return the money or does not return the interest, this loan will become NPA after 90 days. Suppose it has become NPA. Now the rule in India is that, if this 100 crore loan becomes NPA, then the bank has to set aside 15 crore, means 15% of the total loan, which is 15 crore as provision, if this is a secured loan. If this is unsecured loan, then the moment it becomes NPA, the bank has to keep 25 crore as provisioning amount. What does that mean? It means the following. So suppose guys, you are the bank, I am this borrower. Now I have taken money from you. All right. So I am this person, you are the bank. The moment I took 100 crore from you, suppose you took my property papers. So does this loan become secured or unsecured? Secured. But suppose I am not returning your loan. All right, for 90 days, it becomes NPA. The moment 90 days are over and this loan becomes NPA, since it is secured loan, since you are the bank, you have to keep aside 15 crore just as a buffer, as safety. All right. Now this is the rule. Now this is for secured loan. For unsecured loan, what is the meaning of unsecured loan? I am supposed taking 100 crore from you. You are the bank. But when I took 100 crore from you, I did not give you any property papers. No collateral was given by me to you. Which means that this 100 crore that you have given to me is fully risky. All right. Since this is risky, this is called as unsecured loan because I have not given any property on behalf of this loan, any collateral. All right. The moment this loan becomes NPA now, it is unsecured loan plus it becomes NPA. So it will be called as unsecured NPA. So if you have unsecured NPA of 100 crore and you are the bank, you have to keep aside 25 crore as a buffer in your bank books. Why? So that if something goes wrong, you have at least 25 crore to carry on with your normal day-to-day functioning of the bank. This is called as provisioning. That's the rule in India. All right. Now, guys, look at the condition of the bank. You are the bank, all right? I am the borrower. Since you gave me 100 crore and I am not returning your principal or money, this 100 crore has become NPA. That's a loss for you. Plus, RBI is telling you to keep 15 crore or 25 crore, whatever it is, RBI is asking you to keep this money aside as provisioning. Your 100 crore is gone, plus you are keeping 15 crore and 25 crore aside. It's like saying that whatever is the resource of the bank, money with the bank has to keep a larger part of its money as provision. Which means that will it increase the lending capacity of the bank or will it reduce the lending capacity of the bank? It will reduce the lending capacity of the bank. Why? Because bank has suffered losses. First, this money has become NPA, and second, bank has to keep these provisioning amounts also. So this is the total money, 100 plus 15 or 100 plus 25, which is going out of the hand of the bank. Bank has to keep it aside. All right, which means the loan paying capacity or the lending capacity of the bank comes down. That is what we have written here. See, it will lower the loan capacity of the bank. So did you understand this small concept? So what did I teach you? First, I taught you what is NPA. All right. So I taught you what is non-performing assets. Then we did this. I gave you the concept of stressed assets. All right. Then we learned NPA provisioning. Now we come to something interesting called special mention accounts. All right, SMA. You remember in this MCQ, I gave you this small term called as SMA 0. All right, special mention account. Guys, did you notice when does an asset or loan become NPA? When the principal or interest is not paid for a period of 90 days. After that, it becomes non-performing assets. But let me give you a scenario. Suppose you are the bank. I have taken loan from you. How much loan have I taken? Let's say I have taken 100 crore loan from you. Now, if I have taken this loan from you, I have to give you EMIs. So this is a home loan I have taken from you, which means I have to give you EMIs, or I have to return your money, interest or principal. But suppose that you are the bank and you keep waiting for 90 days, thinking that if the principal or interest is not given in 90 days, then we will call it as NPA. But you as a bank also know that the person who has taken the loan is going through a very bad phase, which means financially this person is gone, wrecked, completely gone, shattered, which means that there is no point waiting for 90 days. If you know through market conditions or through the condition of the borrower that the borrower's condition is very bad, you need not wait for 90 days. You can start the process of classifying this loan as something called as, special category loan. That, this, you need not wait for 90 days. Even before 90 days, there are symptoms that this borrower might not return the money. Okay? So this is what RBI actually conceptualized, and RBI conceptualized it in a very nice way, and they gave it a name. They called it as special mention accounts. What is special mention accounts? All right, so let me first teach you this concept, then we'll do one MCQ. What's the meaning of special mention account? So guys, this concept was introduced by RBI in 2014. All right, 6 years back. Now, why did RBI introduce this? To identify those accounts that have the potential to become NPA or stressed asset. Why did RBI do that? When does an asset become NPA? If the principal or interest is not paid for 90 days. So what did RBI do? RBI said that there are many borrowers who have a tendency to become NPA. They have not become NPA, but they have a tendency to become NPA, and RBI wanted to identify those. Okay? Early identification. That was the aim. What is the definition of special mention accounts? So special mention accounts are those accounts that show symptoms of bad asset. The symptoms of bad asset quality in the first 90 days itself, which means you did not wait for 90 days. Even before 90 days, you see all the symptoms that, there is something terribly wrong. There is something wrong with the borrower. Now, what is the rule? Banks should identify potential stress in the account by creating a new subcategory called special mention account. So RBI is telling the banks that you keep an eye on the borrowers. Even before 90 days, you can identify that this borrower is a problem. All right. Now, what is the classification of special mention accounts? So how do you classify it? The classification is like this. So SMA 0, SMA 1, SMA 2. These are the classification. All right. So what is SMA 0? So suppose somebody has taken loan. So you are the bank, I am the borrower. I have taken loan from you. Now the principal and the interest on that loan, if I am not, paying you the principal and interest for, let's say, 31 days. All right, 31 days it's due. Then that will be called as SMA 0. What is SMA 1? The principal and the interest are overdue between 31 and 60 days. So I am supposed to pay it to you today, but between 31 and 60 days, this is overdue, which means the principal and interest has not been paid to you for, let's say, 45 days, 50 days, anything between 31 to 60 days. If principal and interest is not paid, it is SMA 1. What is SMA 2? The principal and the interest are overdue between 61 to 90 days. So suppose I am supposed to pay you the principal and the interest today, but for next 65 days, I haven't paid you the principal and interest. You are the bank. 65 days. 65 falls in this category, 61 to 90. Hence, this loan will be called as SMA 2. Now, which is more dangerous? This one. Because for 61 to 90 days, I have not paid you anything. This is very dangerous. So the most dangerous is this, then this, then this. These show early signs that there is a problem in the borrower. All right. Now, let me give you one structure. Asset classification, guys. Use this classification, which I'm going to give you now, a flow chart for UPSC prelims. This banking, finance and money, this chapter is a very evolving chapter. So for example, the current definition of SMA 0, special mention account 0, is principal and the interest are overdue for less than 31 days. So let's say I'm supposed to pay you the principal and the interest today, but I don't pay it for next 20 days. All right, so it becomes SMA 0. So today it's less than 31. Tomorrow RBI might change this number of days. All right, so keep an eye on newspaper. So since I'm teaching you economics related current affairs, I'll keep updating these things if RBI changes it, but you also keep an eye. All right, otherwise I'll keep on updating these things with you. All right, so now let me give you this flow chart, which you must draw using a pen and a paper so that you memorize it and paste it in front of your table. So asset classification. So assets of a bank are of two types. Good assets, stressed assets. I already taught you stressed asset, guys. NPA, restructured loans, return of assets. What are good assets? Where principal and interest are being paid. When somebody does not pay you principal and interest, principal or interest for 90 days, it becomes NPA. All right. Now, it will be called as NPA only after 90 days, not before 90 days. Before 90 days, what do you call it as? Stressed asset. You call it as special mention accounts. So for example, the asset is good. All right. Now this good asset might show bad symptoms. So for example, less than 31 days, SMA naught. If the principal and the interest is not paid between 31 to 60 days, SMA 1, SMA 2, 61 to 90 days. That's your flow chart. So even when your asset is good, which means it is giving you principal and interest, it might happen that even in case of good assets, so for example, I take a loan from you and I delay the payment of principal and interest for, let's say, 20 days. I don't become NPA. I'm still a good asset, but within good asset, I am a category of asset called as special mention account because I have delayed the payment. If the payment is delayed within 31 days, it is called as special mention account 0. If the payment is delayed between 31 to 60 days, it is called as special mention account 1. If the payment is delayed between 61 to 90 days, it is special mention account 2. And if the payment is delayed beyond 90 days, it is called as non-performing assets. This is the structure which you must remember for UPSC purposes. All right.